Hello everyone and welcome, my name's Ali. Today I've got a load of awesome Call of Duty Ghost Extinction mode details for you guys. If you're not interested in knowing anything about this mode until launch day, feel free to click off the video. But beyond this point, I've got details for you guys on all of the class loadouts and pre-selectable things you can choose before you go into a game of Extinction, how you can actually upgrade and improve the weapons that you use within this mode, how you can find additional items around the map, loads and loads of information. And this is not leaked information, this is public information given to us via GameSpot, which is awesome. If you guys didn't see my countdown to Call of Duty Ghosts, which started yesterday, make sure you're checking that out. There's going to be another video out later today as well, which is very, very exciting. We are so close to the launch of Call of Duty Ghosts, and when it does launch, we're going to have a ton of videos here on my channel for you guys. Make sure you're ready for them. But without further ado, let's jump into some Call of Duty Ghosts Extinction information. The first thing to note is that these images and the video from GameSpot is actually from the Xbox One console playing Call of Duty Ghosts. However, this is obviously a condensed down in terms of quality version of the video stream, so the actual reflection of how well this game will look on next generation console is hard to tell until you actually see it for yourself. Of course, once the PS4 and Xbox One is out, I'll be bringing you guys some videos. Just wanted to make sure you guys knew that. But the very first image here shows off one of the higher levels aliens, almost called it zombies there, with his yellow tail, which can actually shoot out this sort of slime which will slow you down and it will hurt you. And you can notice the red hit marker on screen there. I'm going to talk about that and the hit markers in a second. Also notice in the background there that the gun is highlighted in a blue glow. That is something worth noting, and again I'm going to talk about that in a second as well. If we move on to the next image here, we can see that, again, the red hit marker is occurring. Now, I look through this footage and this red hit marker actually appears, from what I can tell, from when the person is actually shooting at the coloured part of the alien. Here you can see it shooting at the yellow coloured part, and I believe this to be some sort of sensitive spot or some sort of spot which will do additional damage, because there's actually an opposite hit marker which indicates that it's doing less damage, and I'll show you that as well here in a second. So if we go on to the next image here, we can see again this highlighted version of the of one of the items, and that's because the alien is actually holding an item, specifically a propane tank, and this propane tank can be picked up, can be thrown around, and can be used on the map. If we go to the next image here, we can show you guys the actual different hit marker I was talking about. If you zoom in, it actually looks like a shield that you would assume to mean that it's doing less damage than a normal hit marker. So within this mode, within Extinction, you've got three different hit markers. You've got the increased damage hit marker, which is done when you hit a sensitive spot of the alien, the standard hit marker, and then the shield hit marker, which is when you're first shooting the alien, from what we can see, which means you're hitting them in a spot which isn't very effective. So you've got different hit markers to look out for or note when you're playing the alien mode Extinction. Here we can see the propane barrel getting ready to be thrown. You've picked it up here. You can throw it to any location, and then when you want to, you can actually go ahead and shoot the propane tank, and once you shoot the propane tank, it's going to explode, do damage to, of course, any of the enemies around it. So you want to use this to the best of your ability, try and get enemies within groups and make it as effective as possible. What we're seeing in the background here is one of the core hives, one of the big hives, and as you can see, the attack helicopter is engaged, and the attack helicopter actually shoots at this big hive. So this isn't a hive where you use a drill on it, it's a hive where you actually just have to sort of protect the helicopter as the helicopter shoots at this big hive. If you guys don't know what the drill's all about, I've talked about this within the trailer video for Extinction and another video for Extinction, so make sure you're watching all of those videos as well so you're kept fully informed. Next up here, we actually have the drill in action, digging away at one of the not quite as big hives, one of the hives which can be manually dug away at using the drill. But something to note is the fact that on the floor here is Feral Instincts. Now this is interesting because once Feral Instincts has been put into use, we can actually see that the whole screen goes sort of this yellowy colour and all of the enemies are highlighted. So this is a cool ability that allows you to locate all the enemies on the map very easily with this vision. I assume it will give you a little bit extra sort of protection as well, but it definitely gives you this extra vision and this ability to spot all the enemies very, very easily, which is very, very useful as well. So if you go on to the next image here, this is where I'm going to show you guys a lot of information, specifically all of the class loadout options that are available before you jump into a game. So first off here is your pistol type. Now the pistol type, you have 4 different pistols you can choose from, And what you see underneath the pistol type is the ability to upgrade that option using skill points that you will earn within the game when you either destroy a hive or when you complete a challenge, and there's 1 challenge per hive. So you basically want to choose how you're going to be spending those skill points within the extinction mode. All of the pistols have the same upgrade abilities. When you spend a point within your skill point option within Extinction, all of the pistol upgrades are going to be the same, so you can go all the way up to dual wielding pistols, which is pretty cool as well. Next up here, we're going to move over to the ammo types, which is pretty awesome. And if we have a look at these ammo types, we can see there are lots of different versions, 5 versions, and when you spend skill points on these, it gives you the ability to give more ammo out to more of your teammates, and all the way up to a point where you can actually refill the ammo of your teammates without them actually having to go all the way up to it, so within a certain radius, which is very, very cool. If we then go on to the next ammo type here, we can see that this one is the same, but has the stun ability, and it will give you more and more stun ammo the greater you upgrade this one. And I believe this stun ammo is separate to standard ammo, so you can sort of add all these ammos together and have different ammo types for the same weapon within Extinction, which is cool. So lots of ammo versions. Here you can get the incendiary ammo. And this incendiary ammo has the same upgrade abilities as the stun ammo. So of course this is like flaming bullets, which is really, really cool. If you go on to the next one here as well, we can see that this is exactly the same, but with explosive ammos, which is awesome. But of course you've got to go all the way up to rank 20 to unlock this one. But I think that's going to be a very popular choice. And then next up here, we have, for the final one, where you've got to be at level 25 to unlock this one, armor piercing rounds, which is very cool indeed as well. So those are all the ammo types. I think the explosive ammo type sounds the coolest to me. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Moving on to the next part here, where we actually have the support options. You can start off here with explosives, so Semtex, bouncing betties, launchers, etc., which is pretty cool as well. The next one here is the ability to have the feral instincts ability. So here we actually get in-depth look at how the feral instincts will work. So it gives us the ability to move faster, regenerate health faster, so no additional health, but the ability to regenerate it faster. Increase the booster's duration, which is awesome, and then increase the booster duration by 3 times, and adds sprint endurance as well. So very, very useful abilities there. If you want to be sort of the guy running around being very offensive, then that's going to be useful as well. Next up, we have the armor ability, where you can give out armor packs to your teammates or to yourself, giving you the extra ability to take less damage from the aliens, which is awesome. So if you want to upgrade that using your skill points once you have the armor option as well, you can do so within game, and that's going to be very good for surviving longer if you want to be sort of like a juggernaut player within the mode. Next up here, we have a team booster ability. So the booster ability is pretty cool and speeds up the whole sort of handling and the movement of weaponry, which is cool, all the way up to the point where you can actually repair the drill, the actual drill going into the hive as well. So another very cool option. And then the last one here is a very interesting option, which is actually random supplies. So if you go for this one, it's going to be a bit of a sort of mixture, a bit of a gambling option. And if you upgrade this within game all the way up to the final one, you get a random mix of 4 supply levels, and rare items are more common. So this could be very, very useful, but at the same time, it's a big gamble. You may not get what you want. Next up here, having a look at the strike packages. I believe all of these sort of strike packages are available within multiplayer. So essentially getting details on some of the streaks through the extinction images here, which is very, very cool. First off being the IMS, you can increase it all the way up to the final one where it actually have 6 explosive canisters within it. Next up here we have mortars, all the way up to the ability to have 6 mortars with the highest damage and radius, which is very useful. Of course you don't want to get in the way of that though, just in case it hurts you as well. Next up here we have Trinity Rockets. These sound like Predator missiles or sound like Hellstorm missiles from Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2. All the other abilities have 4 of these flying down on the map, taking out aliens. I think these will be quite useful actually. Next up here we have what looks to be the Sentry Gun, sort of standard Sentry Gun. However, it is actually automated, so you don't need to control it yourself. And you can actually have all the way up to the ability of having 2 turrets at once with less chance of them overheating, which means they'll be able to fire for longer periods of time, which is awesome. All the way up to the Vulture, which sounds really, really cool. Of course, this is available at rank 28. 30 is actually the highest rank, so this is going to be very hard to unlock. You've got to rank up a lot, but it goes all the way up to the point of being able to fire incendiary rockets, which is absolutely mad. I'm definitely going to be using that once I hit that rank, however. Next up here, we have equalizers, and I want to go to the final one, which looks like a minigun, but I'll talk about that in a second. First one here is a placeable turret, but it looks like you actually have to control it yourself, so it's not automated. Next up here, we have the turret, which has grenade turrets on them, all the way up to the level where you can actually have burning abilities as well when you shoot from here, which is cool. Next up, we have the Riot Shield control, which is cool. So it can actually have 25 health if you upgrade it all the way up to the final rank, which is awesome. Again, a bit more of a defensive sort of role, so I guess you want to take different roles while you're playing Extinction mode. Next up here, we have a rocket launcher, all the way up to the ability of having 12 rocket launchers, which also can be have the fire ability as well. So that sounds awesome. I think if you have a teammate with this, and then a teammate with the next option here, the minigun or the death machine, you can have a pretty damn sick loadout. So you can upgrade this all the way up to ability of having 200 ammo, fire rounds, recoil dampened, and being able to move faster as well. So this is absolutely crazy. One of the ones I really, really want to go for. Now we've seen all the streaks and all the abilities that have been assigned to the D-pad. And here you can actually see in-game upgrading it. So if you press, I believe, the start or the select button within game, it will bring up this screen, and then you can assign your skill points to whichever ability you want, all the way up to the maximum rank if you so wish, which is awesome. And then next up here, we're going back to actually the very first option, which is actually your weapon, so your actual class loadouts. And you can start off as a weapon specialist, where you can do more damage, you can zoom in quicker, faster reloading, or you can go for a tank, which gives you more health, more melee damage, so something a little bit more defensive. Or you can go for an engineer, which means you can get money back when you use traps, you can repair the drill faster, and increase damage using the traps and explosives, which is awesome. And also the ability to hold more money, so obviously you have a limit in terms of how much money you can hold. And then the final one is a medic, which means you can actually recover and give your teammates quicker reviving, so when they're down you can revive them quicker. And all of these are different abilities, which seems like you want to be sort of like the sort of team player role, going around helping everyone out. But notice how the maximum rank seems to be 30. Once that person has hit 30, the next one's 30, so obviously you're not going to go anywhere. So that seems to be the maximum rank within the Extinction mode. Next up here, we've got a few standard in-game images. Here you can see that the actual packages are thrown out as standard sort of item boxes, which you actually have to collect. You can see one item for the ammo, which is being used now, another ammo option off to the left, and then money off to the right, which is very, very cool. And then next up here, we have the ability to search through items. I've mentioned this before in one of the previous videos, and you can actually get very cool things from these items. So within this case here, we actually got the thermoscope, and these can be applied to your weapons, and you have a maximum of 4 that can be applied to your weapon. And then finally, we've got something very, very cool, which I wanted to show you guys, which is the HYPNO knife, which can be thrown into an alien, and once it's thrown into the alien, it becomes a team alien, which means it helps you out, which means, to sort of my knowledge and what I would assume would be the best thing to do, is to find the biggest and baddest alien and then try and make sure you hit it with this knife. If you miss, obviously it's gone, I guess, unless you can go and pick it up. I assume you can only use this once. You throw it into one alien, it then becomes a team player, and then that's the use of your HYPNO knife gone. But that is absolutely awesome, and absolutely everything that I have to share with you guys today. Almost 14-15 minutes worth of information. Hopefully you found this useful. As I said, as soon as it hits November the 5th, I'm going to have gameplay of Extinction mode here on my channel. Make sure you're subscribed to that. Let me know what you think of all of these details. Do you like everything? Do you not like everything? But thank you so much for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed. Make sure you're checking out all my other videos for the latest Call of Duty Ghost information. I'll see you guys on my next video.